We're coming to the end of our catch up on Q1 earnings season. Who knew that going to a simple conference could have put us so far behind? The latest target, as you know based on the title of this video, is a fan favorite amongst junior mining investors. Because who doesn't love silver and all that it promises? Aya Gold and Silver, after a rough go in pretty well all of 2024, and where we basically called Q4 a kitchen sink quarter in our last video on them, appears to finally be on the upswing, with the new plant at Zgounder now in operations. Let's dive in. Aya in the first quarter of 2025 posted record top-line revenue of $33.8 million, which was a 566% improvement over the $5.1 million in top-line revenue recorded in the year-ago period. That jump in revenue follows Aya selling 1.1 million ounces of silver at an average realized price of $31.87 an ounce, as compared to silver sales in the year-ago period of 200,000 ounces at an average realized price of $21.31 an ounce, with silver sales increasing by 346% and the average realized price increasing by 50% year over year. While revenue was up dramatically, so too was the cost of sales, with cost of sales jumping 397%, going from $4.7 million to $23.6 million year over year. Gross profit, meanwhile, improved by close to 3,000% as a result in the step change in the size of the operation, with gross profit going from $300,000 to $10.2 million on a year-over-year basis. Operating income likewise improved dramatically, going from a loss of $2.9 million to positive income of $3.3 million. Net income for the quarter, meanwhile, moved from a loss of $2.6 million or 2 cents per share to positive $6.9 million or 5 cents per share. Operating cash flow, meanwhile, improved from negative $3.7 million to positive $7.9 million. In terms of the balance sheet, things weren't as rosy for Aya. The unrestricted cash position of the company declined from $30.9 million to $18.3 from the start of fiscal 2025, while working capital moved from $23.4 million to $1.8. Accounts receivable, meanwhile, jumped from $1.8 million to $11.6. Subsequent to the end of Q1, Aya also secured $25 million via a credit facility to support growth in Morocco, while Aya also indicated that they have since collected on those receivables, which was a function of silver sales late in the quarter. All right, time to get into the production data for Aya. Q1 was a big quarter for the company. After hitting commercial production at the end of December for the new plant at Zgounder, there really isn't a fair comparison between Q1 2024 and Q1 2025. Silver production in the first quarter of this year totaled out at 1.1 million ounces, which was obviously a new record for the company, and a 192% improvement on a year-over-year basis from the 366,000 ounces in Q1 of 2024. But that comparison is a bit unfair, because in Q1 last year, Aya was processing a lot of low-grade ore as it worked towards some higher-grade stuff at both the open pit and underground operations that were going on. That production follows 195,000 ounces of ore being mined and 250,000 tons of ore being processed in the quarter, an improvement of 82% and 207% respectively year over year. Average grades declined slightly from 173 to 163 grams per ton year over year, while recoveries improved from 81.8% to 82.4%. Production, meanwhile, was largely in the form of ingots, with 1 million ounces of silver produced in this form versus 100,000 ounces last year, while silver and concentrate production declined to 57,000 ounces versus 255,000 ounces in the year-ago period. As of Q2, production is expected to only be in the form of ingots moving forward. In terms of costing, cash cost declined from $20.31 to $18.93 an ounce on a year-over-year basis. No all-in sustaining costs were provided in the associated filings, but when we reached out to the company, we were told that AISC was about $2 an ounce higher than cash costs on a per-ounce basis. On that note, let's turn to the guidance. Aya Gold and Silver is calling for 2025 production of 5 to 5.3 million ounces. And while Q1 had some outstanding results on a year-over-year basis in terms of production, 1.1 million ounces across 4 quarters doesn't exactly hit the mark here. So we reached out to management, and basically they said production is expected to continue to rise on a quarter-over-quarter basis, with the company currently targeting 1.5 million ounces of silver production in the fourth quarter. Assuming relatively even growth between now and the end of the year, guidance seems reasonable provided it can be hit. And on the costing front, cash costs are currently guided to be between $15 and $17.50 an ounce. We of course asked about this as well, to which we were told that costing is expected to go down by about $2 per quarter, until settling in the range of $13 to $14 an ounce. In short, production is expected to grow every quarter until the end of the year, while costs are expected to come down. Oh, and since we're on the topic of reaching out to management, we also asked about Boumadine, which is Aya's development project. We were curious to know what they are projecting internally for a production timeline for that asset, for which the answer was about 4 years. All right, so let's wrap it up. Without a doubt, this was a strong quarter for Aya, especially after the 2024 they had as they worked to get the expansion at Zgounder completed. With commercial production now declared for that expansion, well, it's just a matter of refining things to improve recoveries and throughput. And with that comes improved economics. All right, everybody, we are wrapping up earnings season, but there's still quite a few names that you guys want us to get to. I promise you guys we're going to try to get to every single one, or at least the majority of them. And what we're doing now is we're now reaching out to management teams with a few questions so you guys can get some additional color on everything from us that you're not going to get in the MD&A or the filings. All right, everybody, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe, ring that notification bell. You guys know the drill. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.